Welcome back to the DNaz channel. I am your host, DNaz. I'm excited to have you here today because today we are going into some fun things. I'm going into space phenomenons through recorded history. And it seems like the perfect time because everybody's interested in 3i Atlas and what's going on in space. So I wanted to show you guys some space events that happened in the past and were recorded before we had computers. They were painted, they were drawn, they were written about, right? So, our first one is the Istanbul Comet and Earthquake of 1556. This is the Great Comet of 1556 observed across Europe in March, and it was often associated with the Great Earthquake in May of 1556 that happened in Istanbul, and it damaged the Hagia Sophia Dome. And I think around 80 people were killed. So we have these two events side by side. We have descriptions from this comet. It is described as having a head as large as Jupiter and a red color like Mars. And it's said to have a tail resembling the flame of a torch. So this thing must have been so huge in the sky. These descriptions were written down by Cornelius Gemma, and this comet was visible for 52 days. So if you think about it, if the comet was first reported to come in March and the earthquake happened in Istanbul in May, this thing was visible for 52 days. It's very possible that some debris fell off the comet and it struck the Earth, and that's what happened. And it could be very much related to the earthquake. Next, we have the Crab Nebula explosion. This happened in 1054, so almost 1,000 years ago. All right. It was recorded by the Chinese, the Japanese, the Koreans, and Arab astronomers. This was called the guest star because it made a whole new star in the sky. I mean, imagine watching a nebula explode in the sky, right? The amazing part is, well, there's many amazing parts of this, but it was visible at night and in the day. That's how bright this explosion was. It was said to be brighter than Venus, and it was visible for 3 weeks. Imagine how big of an explosion that is to be visible for 3 weeks. The crazy thing is that we know the explosion happened 7,500 years ago, but it got to us 6,500 years ago, right? Well, it got to us 1,000 years ago because it's 6,500 light years away. So that 1,000-year gap is the time it took. The 1,000 light years is the time it took for that light to get here from the explosion. And the explosion was so intense, that light was so intense that it was shown in our sky for 3 weeks after taking 1,000 years for light to travel across space and come to us, then be visible for 3 weeks. That is just amazing. This star, it's a neutron star. So nebulas that explode like that, it's kind of like how black holes are forming when they implode on themselves. They're neutron stars. They're like, gaseous stars, right? They get very hot and they explode like our sun will one day. So we called this star M1. The first known photograph of it is in 1892. And that's when it was labeled M1. And we were able to measure the light and do the math between the light years. And we could confirm that this was the star called the new star in 1054. We know that this is the recorded event that happened. And this light, the Crab Nebula, is said to be expanding at 1,500 kilometers a second. That is an amazing, amazing explosion. Our world is so amazing. So I'm going to bring you guys to one that we all know about, and that is Halley's Comet. Halley's Comet is something that we can see every 75 years, and it was first recorded in 467 BC, okay? It was known as an omen. It was depicted as an omen in Normans, from Normandy, right? The Norman conquest, they were the ones that believed this was an omen. They saw it in the sky. And this is the first time we had this comet recorded. I'm not sure how old we think this comet is or how long it's been in our orbit because it is now in the orbit of our solar system. So who knows how long it's been in orbit, where it comes from. But our first recording was 467 BC, and the earliest painting depiction of it I'm going to butcher the name. It's like the Bayeux Tapestry in 1066. That's when it was shown as an omen for the Norman conquest. Then we have Giotto's fresco. It's a painting that is also depicted as the Star of Bethlehem. So they relate Halley's Comet to that star because, you know, again, we can look at the time frames when these are being recorded. Is the comet in the sky? The comet's appearance was in the sky in 1301, and this painting, Giotto's fresco, it was created in 1305. So just 5 years later, and it has the flame going across the sky. You can see the comet. People say it's the Star of Bethlehem. Maybe they are related, you know. Then we have a photo from 1910. This is the first photograph, obviously, because they didn't have them back then. And it was from the Detroit Observatory, and you could see the ring, the tail, and it's black and white, but it's our first photo. That's beautiful, you know. Going from paintings to the first photo, and you know, 1,000 years from now, we're going to look back at what we did and go, wow, you know, that's so amazing. So we know Halley's Comet is going 55 kilometers a second. That is 123,000 miles per hour. Okay. It's believed to have formed in the outer solar system. There's something called the Oort cloud, O-O-R-T, and this is like an icy area. There's a lot of rocky ice things, and we think it comes from that cloud, and it got into our orbit, and now it orbits us every 76 years, and the orbit expands beyond Neptune. So it goes, you know, goes from the inside of Venus around Neptune, goes through our sky. I mean, it's amazing how gravity is. Let's see. Our next one is Comet Miles. This is from 1587. We have our earliest depiction, and it comes in a painting. Well, it's a manuscript. It's first shown in a manuscript. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. It's a French manuscript, and it's like the Book of Comets. You know, they have like a whole book of recorded comets in this manuscript and paintings of it. I'll show the paintings up here. I know that it's named Comet Miles, and Miles has the meaning of a warrior. So probably its fiery depiction and just the way it comes and embraces that, you know, maybe during the time this was, you know, coming out of the age of the ram, you know, the Mars era, the age of Aries, and associating it to the warrior, right? So what are some recent ones now? We're going to go to one of our favorites, Oumuamua, which was first discovered in 2017. It was the first confirmed interstellar object, so to go through multiple solar systems. And it was found by the Pan-STARRS telescope in Hawaii. I think the name Oumuamua, I think it means, oh no, I was going to say traveler, but it means messenger from afar in Hawaiian. Okay, it has an elongated shape like a cigar, and I don't know if we have any, I don't know how we got to that conclusion or how we found that out, but we do know it's up to 1/4 mile long, 400 meters long. Then we have our new favorite TheSi Atlas. This comet was found by the Atlas telescope, and it was in July of 2025. The nucleus is estimated to be between 1,400 feet and 3.5 miles wide. That is amazing, all right? It's potentially the largest interstellar object ever detected, and I would agree upon that because we don't have really other ones detected. And we assume that this thing is ancient, around like 3 billion years old, or 3 billion years older than our solar system. Okay, it's supposedly it's rich in CO2, and it comes from a very cold region. And we're finding out a whole bunch of crazy stuff about it now. I mean, it's causing a lot of controversy. So let me know what you guys think. If you like this video, leave a comment below. Make sure you like and subscribe. Tell me more about TheSi Atlas. Let me know if you think it is an alien spaceship or if it is just another interstellar object. Do you think it's related to Oumuamua? Do you think that these two events are, correlated somehow? Let me know. Again, you've been watching the DNaz channel, and I'll see you next time.